just found the Montana Outdoor Podcast. Here, you'll discover the people and places that make Montana like no other place in the world. If you love to fish, hunt, or just enjoy creating your own adventure in the outdoors, you have come to the right place. The Montana Outdoor Podcast is brought to you by Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer, home of Boss Snowplows and Accessories, and Diamond Sea Trailers and Accessories. Go to rmtte.com and see everything they have waiting for you online. Or just come by 5680 Expressway in Missoula. And by Superior Hardwoods of Montana, delivering the highest quality lumber, paneling, flooring, and reclaimed wood products anywhere in North America. Let them guide you through the woods at their showroom in Missoula on Highway 93 South or at superior-hardwoods.com. Now, let's go discover Montana's great outdoors with your host, Downrigger Dale. Have a great show, buddy. Can't wait to hear it.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for being part of the Montana Outdoor Podcast again. This week we are back doing what we've been doing for a while now, trying to find different events, different things you can do around Montana in the winter. There's always a ton of stuff. You know, we were learning down in West Yellowstone about all the cool stuff that they were doing down there with the Kids in Snow program. By the way, they had their big ice fishing tournament, one of the few places that could do ice fishing in Montana. And the results on that are out now on montanaoutdoor.com. But also, we did dog sled racing in that. But now we're going to go to an event that's super cool, and I'm going to tell you all about it. First, though, I want to welcome the folks that have been with us a long time, a very special guest that we always have, and that is our active military. We have active military that participate on bases all around the world that the podcast is available to them. Of course, we have a lot of active military from Montana, so this is special to them, but we have them from all around the United States that really love the podcast, and I hope this brings a little bit of home to you. I know a lot of you don't get to go home a lot, and so I hope this finds you well, and thank you so much for your service and what you do. Also, for you veterans here in Montana and around the United States, and thank you so much for your service. We wouldn't even be doing this podcast if it wasn't for you, so thank you. Now, also, our promotion staff always wants me to mention, make sure you please subscribe, like, and share the podcast. That helps us a lot. Some of the areas like YouTube and others, they want to see that you're growing to still allow to have that space. Of course, in our case, I can't thank you enough. We have grown crazy. We are now in the top 5% of the most watched podcasts in the nation. And that, it blows me away. So thank you so much for doing all what you do. Now, let's get into our next wintertime event. Now, this is one that maybe not a lot of you will participate in, but once you see it, if you've got a horse or you love to ski, you may want to do this. It's called Skijoring. And this is a wild event. What I love about it is it's an absolute wonderful spectator event. Boy, is it fun to watch. And so I rounded up a guest, and she knows a lot about the sport. Jennifer Butler is her name. Jennifer, welcome to the Montana Outdoor Podcast. Thanks for coming on. Are you out traveling at events now? Where are you at now?
Right now, I am currently residing in the parking lot of the Gallatin Valley Fairgrounds.
Yeah, one of those big horse trailers where you live in part of the horse trailer, or
Yeah, I have a living quarters horse trailer. I got a nice little cabin here, and horses are just parked outside here. And I had 2 weekends back to back at this ferry facility, so I just decided to stick around.
Yeah,
not make the drive all the way back to Whitefish.
There you go. Well, we're glad that you took a little time. We found you when you had some time to talk about skijoring and what it's like, and we can learn all about it and talk about some of the events and that. So I guess let's start with skijoring itself. What is skijoring? In Montana, I guess most of us that have ever gone to an event are familiar with it as it is a horse pulling a skier or snowboarder who's holding onto a rope. And now that sounds wild. Well, it gets even wilder with the courses and stuff. So explain what skijoring is.
Well, what we do is called Western Equine Skijoring. Skijoring is basically it means ski driving is
Okay.
the actual term for it, translated directly. You can do it with dogs. You mentioned before that you've done it behind a snowmobile.
Yeah.
In Europe, they do it with a horse with no buggy. So basically, you're just driving the horse and you're skiing behind it. But here in the West, we pull a horse with a skier, or pull a skier with a horse, and we run down a snowy track. Hopefully, it's snowy this year, maybe not so much. And the skier has to go through gates, over jumps, pick up rings, and it's a race. Fastest time wins.
Mm-hmm. So there's different teams, and they're doing this race with, racing against the clock, if you will. That gets real exciting, but the course itself just blows me away. What I want to do is I want to have everybody watch this video right now. There's a video that Jennifer sent me, and this is talking about the event in Whitefish. But it really gives for a short video, it gives a really good picture of what skijoring is like. Let's watch that. And when we come back, we're going to get a little more explanation of what this exciting event is all about from Jennifer Butler right after this. Take a look at this.
In the heart of winter, when Montana turns wild, there's a place where courage meets ice and speed becomes survival, where riders trust 1,000 pounds of power and skiers hold on for that split second between flying and wiping out. This isn't just another sport. This is skijoring. Horses charging at full speed, ropes tight, edges carving, 3 hearts pounding, jumps that feel impossible, speeds you can't believe, and moments you'll swear happened in slow motion. This February, Whitefish Skijoring brings heat to the heart of winter, where skill meets chaos, where thrill meets tradition, where the brave come to compete, and the rest come to watch the madness unfold. Because in Montana, winter rises like a beast. And the fearless don't run, they charge.
All right, there you go. There is the video, and that is
great. Missed it again.
It's just crazy. I cannot believe that people do this, but they do. But what blew me away, Jennifer, is how fast you're going. About how fast is the average skijorer team moving?
Well, average is a big word. We have our novice division and our juniors, they go pretty slow.
Well,
and then you can move up to upwards around, 40 miles an hour would be like top speed, I would think.
40 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quite the...
You think about that as a horse rider. I guess we don't have speedometers on horses, but you don't think about it. Yeah, you do go that fast.
Yeah, I try not to think about it. It raises my blood pressure just a little bit.
Man. And so, but it's not just, okay, like a drag race that it's just straight. I mean, these are courses. Talk about the courses and what that's like, because you're pulling a skier. Is this something that you get to go out on a course and practice a little before the race? Are all courses the same in every event? How does that work?
Well, Whitefish Skijoring holds a couple practices every year before our race, snow providing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sneed family from Big Fork. They provide us a little bit of a practice course. You can go out, it's short, pretty casual. Anybody can show up and try it if we're holding a practice. Get your horses legged up, use it as a training. As far as the races go, there's no practice. Before each division, you can go out with your horse and your skier, and take a walk through, look at the course conditions, come up with a plan with your skier, how you're going to run it. And then it's just game on.
Wow. So you get a little
15
kick
minutes.
at it and then it's go. Holy
Yep.
smokes. Let's talk about how you even got into this crazy event, because it's, I guess, not for everybody. You got to have some guts and that. But what attracted you to it, and how long have you been doing this sport?
So a long time ago, I lived out in the Billings area, and I saw a couple Skijorings at the national final Skijoring in Red Lodge. Great event down there. They're still putting it on. It's fabulous if you get a chance to go to that one. I moved up to Whitefish area about 15 years ago, and some friends that I was riding with said that they were going to be doing the Skijoring this weekend, and I didn't know that that was something you could actually just go do. I thought you had to have a pro card or something.
Yeah.
But it turns out that pretty much anybody can sign up and go do it. So I did and got hooked. So now I travel from race to race. I've been doing it for 15 years. I bred my own skier so that I could have a consistent teammate. And my son and I have been competing together for 12 years now. So that's been super fun.
I like that. You bred your own ski.
Mm-hmm.
It's your son.
My son.
There you go. So you said, okay, I'm going to make my own. So how old is your son? And what has that been like, having son and mom competing together all this time?
Yeah, I started out with both my sons competing. My youngest one moved to Arizona. He likes the warmer weather.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been freaking amazing. A family event, like who has a 30-year-old kid? And actually back when we started, who has an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid that really wants to hang out with their mom?
Yes.
So it has been an amazing relationship thing for me, a family event. And I mean, the Skijoring family in general is amazing. And then being able to do it with my own kid has been super special.
I'll bet. Now, did he start out as was he a very accomplished skier, did he do like downhill racing or anything, or?
Nah, he was a little bit of a disadvantage because he wasn't a racer, but he's a really good backcountry skier and doesn't have much in the fear category going on in his head. So he's pretty bold.
Yeah.
So he just was willing to take on, and Skijoring, it's different. If you can come from any ski background, and learning to skijor is something completely different off of, you get an advantage if you're a racer, but skijoring is different.
Yeah.
He also started boarding so that he could ski board. So now I pull him in the snowboard division as well. And he doesn't actually snowboard. So that's been an interesting thing.
Well, when you think about it with skiing, and I skied for many, many years. In fact, I was a ski instructor for an earlier part-time of my life. But, you're using gravity. Gravity's your friend. That's what's taking you down the hill. You're feeling the front of your boots and doing all that stuff. But this is, like you say, completely different. You're getting pulled. Now, I saw in the video they're using edging and that sort of thing. But how long did it take your son to get that feel for how to get that control? Because these are some tight turns.
Yeah, it takes a little bit. I mean, anybody can try it. And if you can ski, you could probably skijor. If you can water ski, you can skijor. Getting really good at it is a rope management issue. It's a getting used to using that horse speed, but not pulling the horse back, and not relying on that, having good balance and just knowing skijoring. And it takes some time for the people that are really good at it to excel in those parts of it. And once you get the rope management thing down and the planning ahead, the racing part of it, that's when you really start getting good.
Well, and for those of you that would like to see that video again, I'm going to post that video in the podcast description so you can watch it again many times as you want and see it again. One of the things I noticed when you were talking about rope management is I'm noticing that there's quite a bit of rope behind them, but you can see how they're adjusting the length and all that. Now, I assume that's to pick up slack So like I noticed there's a lot of jumps and stuff. You're coming off. You don't want to have slack and then have the slack take up. And I imagine that puts you on your face, but
Yeah, that would put you on your face. So that's like the first thing. Somebody goes out and they think I'm a really good skier and I can ski jor. Going over that first jump and having that slack come out with the horse there,
Mm.
that kind of makes your decision on whether or not you're going to continue to do this sport or if you're going to learn to not have that happen to you ever.
So this is a dangerous sport, I guess you would say. Is it as dangerous as it looks?
Used to be. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, it is dangerous. I mean, we at this Bozeman race, which is put on by some pretty experienced ski jorers, it was kind of like Old Home Week. There was a guy here that has been in the ski joring world a heck of a lot longer than me, and he doesn't ski jor anymore, but he was judging it. And we don't have much snow here, and so they've had to just make do. And some people were asking about the course and, safety and all of that. And he said point blank, boys and girls, this is a dangerous sport. It's winter and it's weather dependent and it's up to you. You look at this course, walk it, talk it over with your skier, consider your animals. And if this isn't the course for you, there's no shame in stepping out and saying, not today.
Yeah.
So, there's that. And we've gotten a lot better with that. It used to be a lot of backyard shenanigans. This sport has come a long way. It's gotten faster, way faster. It's a much higher skill level than it used to be. And races are learning. We're learning to, separate spectators from 1,000-pound hyped up animals. We're learning, about runouts, and we're learning a lot about course maintenance, and we're learning a lot about what skiers can handle and where horses should be running. And so, yeah, back in the old days, it probably was a little bit more dangerous, but it was also slower. Now it's faster and more technical, but race organizers have learned a lot.
Well, you brought up, I tried it once, not behind a horse, but behind a snowmobile. My older brother was driving the snowmobile, which was my first mistake. To let him do that, I didn't know what I was doing, but I had a hold of that rope and off he went. And one of the biggest mistakes I made is, this was back in the days where you had not ski stops, but safety straps, on your skis. And I put my safety straps on my ankles. So now my skis are attached to me. Well, the old slack thing happened. I hit a frozen cow turd and I went, the old saying, ass over tea kettle. And here I went, and the ski came up and hit me in the forehead, put a huge knot on my forehead. And I never tried it again after that. So what are the responsibilities of the skier and the rider in getting through this course?
Well, you get your 15 minutes to make a plan. So you walk the course. We're not allowed to run it. There's a lot of horses and skiers out there.
Sure.
Walk the course, talk it over with your skier. There are, super technical areas of the course, and the skier has to tell you, like, this is within my skill level to do it in this way. They're either going to tell you, check here, which is slow down, move to this side or that side of the track. You have to remember your skier's 30 feet behind you, so got to calculate all that. And then when to go, when to just hit it. So you're trying to get the best time possible without penalties. So your first responsibility is to get that skier through the course clean.
Okay. So they got to stay within the course boundaries is what you're saying there. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Left of red, right of blue. No skipping any of the jumps.
Okay. So now, as you're pulling your skier, which happens to be your son, through this, so when you come to a jump, the horse is bypassing the jump, but the skier's going over it. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, we run by. You're not really allowed to take the horses up over the jump. Breaking the plane of the jump with the horse is pretty much against the rules in every race. Yeah, they don't want to see that. It happens occasionally. The horses, they're watching that. You're kind of watch where the skier is too. So because you're a rider, you understand, like, your horse kind of goes where you look. So if you turn around and you're like looking at that jump, wondering, how far back there your skier is and whether or not they have enough rope to make that, to be able to let some rope out and work the rope. Sometimes your horse just goes that direction, and you kind of have to be careful about that. So,
well, and in some ways, your legs are kind of part of that steering wheel.
you have to have some body awareness if your horse is moving at 40, because things happen fast.
Yeah. So now you're guiding them through, but then I noticed there's these loops or rings in the course. What's that about, and how does that work?
Well, it's just an added factor to make the courses more complicated. Basically, skiers have to pick up rings. A couple of the races, Boulder's one. That's the next race after this one, down in Boulder, Montana. They have a rider ring, which is scary because you have to let go with one hand while you're riding. And their courses, it tends to be, I don't know, it's not so much as fast, but it has a big turn in it. So luckily, when you hit that rider ring, you're not going full speed. But picking one hand off your horse to pick up a ring and then trying to hang on to it for the rest of the race is kind of sort of my nemesis. I love that race. The organizers are amazing. Super fun race. Lots of fun people there. That rider ring gets me.
Yeah. So then if you miss a ring or anything like that, then are points deducted or time deducted or?
It's time. Yeah. They take time off. Sometimes it's 2 seconds per ring. Sometimes it's 2 seconds per gate missed. Sometimes it's 5. It just depends on the race. Montanans are really independent.
Mm-hmm.
So every race likes to do things their own way, and you just go there and figure out what the rules are and try and do the best you can.
Oh, crazy. Okay. I just assumed maybe it was kind of a similar thing, but no.
No,
Okay.
no, every race is different, which is, it's awesome.
We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to learn a little bit more about how all this works and get into talking about an event coming up in Kalispell, and maybe Jennifer will share some more information about it. But we'll also just learn more about what all this skijoring is about. And I also want you to, when we come back, talk a bit about what the spectators get to see, kind of maybe put us in that place of when we go to an event, what do we see? So we'll talk about that right after this. Are you going to get out to your favorite ice fishing hole this year? Yeah, I know. Finding the time is always the hard part, isn't it? Well, Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer can help you get the things done that you have to do so you have time to do the things you want to do. How about clearing the driveway or work areas of snow? Yeah, that can be a time sucker for sure. Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer has just what you need. A huge selection of Boss snowplows and accessories that'll fit any truck or ATV even. Boss snowplows are flat amazing at removing snow fast. Or how about something that can serve you at both work and on your next adventure outdoors? Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer has awesome Diamond C utility trailers and accessories that can haul work equipment during the week and then your ATV or snowmobile or other awesome outdoor toys on the weekend. Of course, Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer also has an amazing service department with top technicians and parts pros that are ready to fix or replace whatever you need, from installing a new fifth wheel or gooseneck hitch, or even rewiring the lights on your trailer so they work the way they're supposed to. What about getting some other time-saving accessories for your truck installed? That, my friends, is for sure one of their specialties. And get this, Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer can even help with financing. Yeah, they've got you covered. This is going to be a great winter season, my friends, especially if you go see Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer. They're in Missoula at 5680 Expressway. You can call them at 406-549-4243 or check them out online at rmtte.com. That's Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer, rmtte.com. Get a hold of them today and then start planning that trip. We are back here on the Montana Outdoor Podcast. Jennifer Butler is my guest. She is a skijoring rider, part of a team with her son. They travel all over the place in these races that are just fascinating. I at the beginning of this podcast, I showed you that video. It gives you a really good idea, but that's just a bit of a peek into it. Let's talk about what we see as spectators. One of the things I said at the beginning is this is a fabulous spectator sport. It really is, because it's exciting to watch. You never know what's going to happen. It moves quick. So it's kind of like
Montana's winter rodeo.
yeah, there you go. Montana's winter rodeo. What do spectators get? How close to the course are they? Kind of, get in that perspective so folks that are watching this can get an idea of why they might want to go check one of these races out.
Yeah, so it's a super fun spectator sport. Competitors, we're all doing our thing back there, but the spectators get to have, especially at our race, we have, fire pits, we have great food vendors, we have other vendors. We have a dog sled team this year, so if you want to try your hand at that, you can go do that. We have, heated tents for our VIPs, and we have, I don't know, what else do we have there? All kinds of things. It's super fun. Plus, you get all the excitement of the race. This year we're having a live stream, so that it'll be a little bit more, not as much downtime, fill that part in. So
cool.
It's super fun. And you get to watch the teams progress throughout the day. So if you come first thing and you're watching those novices, and then you get into the snowboard, and then you get into those faster riders, and if you stick around to the end, it can be pretty spectacular to watch those open pro riders.
A lot of times there is some fundraising for other charities and stuff that go on too, as well, isn't there?
Oh yeah. So we support each other. We like to do, our vendors also are some of our not-for-profits to showcase what it is that they do for the community, and we work well with them. Part of our Kolkata money, we can talk about the Kolkata when we get a chance. But part of our Kolkata money goes to a lot of these not-for-profits, other not-for-profits. We are also a not-for-profit.
Mm-hmm.
Things like the Rodeo Family Relief Fund, Wings Regional Cancer Support, the Equine Human Therapy Programs, 4-H clubs, ski clubs, scout groups, all kinds of sport clubs, scholarship funds, and of course our first responders. So, being part, the Whitefish Skijoring being part of our local and statewide and national, other not-for-profit community has been great, and we love to showcase those people too.
Another opportunity I want to bring up, because we have a ton of business people that are outdoors folks, and love to help out and be part of it. You also have ability for folks to sponsor these races, and for certain businesses, this could be a great opportunity to kind of showcase their business a bit and help you guys be able to put on this wonderful event. Talk about that. You have different sponsorship opportunities, right?
Yeah, we have great sponsorship opportunities. One of the best things about this sport in the state of Montana, especially, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, is winter. Like, winter's not always a big tourist event time. Communities like Wisdom and Lewistown, those are kind of summer destinations, and they really do depend on tourist money to keep those economies afloat. Skijoring has offered a little bit of bump in a time where it's pretty slow. Whitefish is very fortunate in that we have a nice winter economy, and it kind of grows on itself. So we offer a lot to our sponsors in that we are a really big race. We have a big winter showing. We have a lot of great spectators that come year after year. So we offer a lot for them, and we depend on that in order to put on that race. The bigger and more fun the race is, the more money it costs to put on. So we depend on our sponsors, and our sponsors, I feel like, get a lot out of it as well. They get a lot of exposure, and they get to be part of, get an upfront seat and be part of a really amazing community event.
Yeah. So I'm going to put some links in there too. So any of you that, might be interested in sponsoring, different events and that, I'll get some contact information and stuff for you there. And it'd be great if you participated and got involved, because that's one of the reasons I wanted to have this on our podcast. Is it just what you said? It is another thing that really helps a lot of small towns in Montana. You mentioned Wisdom. They got a great event there. It's not all just big resort cities. This goes on all over. So be sure and get involved. as a spectator or a sponsor. Now, let's talk a bit about what keeps you going in this. Now, obviously, it's fun, it's exciting, but are you competing for cash prizes and that? How do you cover your overhead to get around it and do all this?
Yeah, well, I hope to win enough money at every race that I can pay for some fuel and some entry fees. After that, I'm in a lucky position that I'm basically retired. And before that, I worked in a job that was mostly in the summer. So I was able to do a little bit more traveling. There are some real stud muffins out there that work full-time jobs and still manage to pay for this and travel it. They use about all their vacation time to be able to get those road miles in. A lot of it's just the community support, being able to rely on the other competitors to help you out. I mean, I'm almost 60 years old. So traveling in the winter and dealing with the horses and doing all of that, I couldn't keep doing it if we weren't such a cohesive community that help each other out.
Yeah.
I mean, we teach each other, we loan each other gear, we rescue each other from horse trailer incidents on the highway, we give road reports to each other, we everything. So, and then the communities, we have each individual team, a lot of them have sponsors. They have team sponsors.
Okay.
And that helps a ton. And that gets out some names, across the state. Like if you want your name to be out there, and it's also super fun for a business to have their own team, that helps a lot too.
So kind of like NASCAR, where you could sponsor a team, huh? That's really cool idea too. There you go.
You can. Just hit me up.
It really reminds me a lot of rodeo in that way, of the camaraderie and that, and really there's just a tiny handful of people that actually make money being a rodeo.
I think maybe skiers. I mean, skiers, there's a nice advantage. They get to show up. We don't just compete with just one teammate either. You compete with, you're only allowed, the 3 heartbeat rule, 3 heartbeats, 1 team. Horse rider and skier can only go once a day. So I ski, go once a day. I'm lucky I get to go twice because my son boards as well. So we get to go twice. But he's got, 3 other teammates or 5 other teammates every single race. And so do I.
Again, though, as far as you've got, so when you say you're going out, you're pulling him as a snowboarder, you're pulling him as a skier. So that's 2 races. Explain what the rest of that is then.
So horses can only run. Oh, I was talking about the skiers and how lucky they are.
Okay.
So horses can only run twice in a day.
Okay.
So as a rider, if you want to have more runs, you need more horses.
Oh.
So I can run my open horse, which is Speedy. I can run him, the thoroughbred. I can run him once with David and once with somebody else, and then I'm done. My other horse, Junior, I run in the snowboard division, and then the sport division, he's never really going to be fast enough for the open. So I can pull 2 other people with him. So I'm done with only 2 horses. I only get 4 runs.
Okay.
For me to be able to do it again, I need to buy a 3rd horse, and, traveling with and feeding and shoeing and all the things that you have to do. I have to keep this animal alive all year. I can't just pull him out of the closet and go skijoring with him,
Yeah.
So skiers are lucky in that, they have a couple pairs of skis and enough people that want to pull them. They can show up in a Subaru and stay in a hotel and, have 4 runs at, about half the money. So we get paid a little bit more than they do in the end, but for most races now, a little bit goes to the horse. Horses earn their own money now. But yeah, so they're pretty lucky that way. So, and that brings up a little bit of the community aspect of it too. We're competitive. I mean, the spurs come out at race time, but when we're not racing, I mean, when you think about it, we're all pulling each other's skiers. We're all racing with each other's riders. It's not, you have to be a family. You can't hate on each other if you're going to be doing it that way.
Right. And what about for the horse? When you look at these courses, we watch that video at the beginning, and, this is snow, it gets packed, it can be kind of icy and all that. Talk about the footing and how you deal with that with the horse. So
races have gotten way better at determining good footing. I mean, they work really hard at making that track as safe as they can. On the horse side, we wear shoes with either like they call Drill Tech or Boreum, which looks like little piles of gold nuggets welded to the bottom of the shoes. We wear snow poppers, which are pads that have little bumps in them, so snow can't get packed up underneath the shoes, making your little spiky things kind of not worth having. So we do that, and then also teaching your horse, like, don't go out there the very first time they run on snow and rip them around the corner, because they're not going to know how to do that for themselves and not fall. So the reason that the faster horses and the faster skiers are all in this open division, they're all experienced. Those horses have done this before. They know what to expect, and they know how to protect themselves. And be a responsible rider. We talked about how your horse goes where you look. Don't look at that big icy spot.
Yeah.
I've made that mistake, like look where what you want your horse to go, and try and help them not, hit a patch of ice at 40 miles an hour around a corner. That's up to you, rider. And you really need to help them. And you get better and better at it. And as it gets faster and faster, it gets, it's safer and safer. It's also super easy. Like, it's easy to say, like, I'm sitting here in the safety of my horse trailer saying how you can be super responsible and slow your horse down. In the end, it is a race. I mean, people are trying to win, and they're trying to win money. It's not huge money. I mean, it's all about the jewelry. You want that buckle too,
Sure.
So, and pride, and you want to do well. I mean, there's a lot of people watching you. So it is easy to just kind of let that all go out the window, or get afraid and look at that icy spot. Oh, I don't want to hit that. And people do make mistakes. We have an absolute amazing crew of first responders. We have veterinarians, we have EMTs, we have a horse ambulance. Thank you, Rebecca Farm. And we have, people ambulances, and we keep all of that on guard just in case there's an accident. So, it does happen. Again, winter sport, and it's dangerous. It's fast, and people and horses and weather is a factor. It all comes into play.
So again, this is something you got to go watch, folks, and see, because you're going to see all this come together in that. But there is also another aspect of how the Spectator can kind of get involved when it comes to some money stuff. We're talking about Kolkata here. We're going to take one last quick break. When we come back, we're going to learn about that. This might be a thing that some of you folks might be interested in. That's next. I want to take a minute to thank Superior Hardwoods of Montana for their support of this podcast. It is what allows us to bring you the latest from Montana's great outdoors, with very few interruptions, by the way. That said, there is another reason we are lucky to have Superior Hardwoods of Montana on board. They are an amazing business that can offer all of you some of the most incredible wood products you have ever seen. Plus, Superior Hardwoods of Montana is still a place that actually cares about and appreciates their customers, the same way we appreciate you, our viewers and listeners. They offer you something original and totally unique, like their 11 acres of wood wall paneling, flooring, trim, beams, slabs, well, you name it. Every single piece has a story behind it. Wood from old barns, historic homesteads, even historic factories. And that amazing wood can be part of your story too. Right there in your home can be a piece of American history, brought back to life, custom milled and refinished to your specifications. So it not only tells its original story, but also speaks to who you are and how special your home is. Superior Hardwoods also has exotic woods, live edge slabs, pre-finished and unfinished flooring too, all in stock and ready to go. Need help picking out the right material? Just ask. Their team has been doing this since 1977. They know how to guide you through the woods. Swing into their beautiful showroom at 5120 Highway 93 South in Missoula, or you can just check them out online at superior-hardwoods.com. That's Superior Hardwoods of Montana. Local, knowledgeable, family run, and ready to help you build something that lasts. Let them guide you through the woods at superior-hardwoods.com. Superior Hardwoods of Montana. Go see them. Back here on the Montana Outdoor Podcast, we're going to wrap it up here with Jennifer Butler here in a sec, but we want to go over a few more things about skijoring. I am so glad that I finally got to do a podcast about this, and I hope we get to do a lot more podcasts about skijoring. I think it's a fantastic winter event. It has certainly become part of our wonderful entertainment in the outdoors in wintertime. So got to get involved, folks. Now, let's talk a bit about, we talked about, you're competing for money and bragging rights and, like you say, the bling and all that stuff too. But there is a Kolkata that goes on. This is where you can bid in an auction to buy a team that you think might win. And of course, then you would win a bunch of money if that happened. Talk about that. And what do you see there as far as spectators getting involved in that? Is that becoming quite popular? I would assume.
It's becoming very popular. So everything's more exciting if you have some skin in the game, right? This is the only way, aside from signing up to be dragged behind a horse, that you can actually do this. So we get, it's a really fun night, Saturday night. We have the auction. You can look at, we'll give you a sheet that tells you like how the competitors all did on Saturday, and you're buying your team for Sunday. So if your team wins on Sunday, you win on Sunday, and how much money you win kind of depends on how much is in the pot. And Whitefish gets crazy. People bid a lot to get those top teams, and there's some serious money there. Also, we keep a portion of the money back for those types of not-for-profits that help support us, and we support them. I mean, we get those 4-H boys out there, and they're stoking fires, and the Boy Scouts and cleaning up. I mean, they do all that. We have parking attendants, and they're from other not-for-profits. And in exchange, we share in the fun. We don't keep any of this money for ourselves from the Kolkata. All that money either goes back to the people who are bidding on the teams or right into the pockets of these, not-for-profit organizations that help us as well. And some that don't help us, but we spread it around.
Well, and it's similar to ice fishing. Ice fishing, same thing. That's gotten so big because we do the Kolkatas in ice fishing, and you buy the teams, and that's gotten pretty wild. But ice fishing is kind of tough to be a spectator sport, where this really get a lot of excitement. You get a lot of, horses and all this stuff and speed, and it's crazy. But then to get involved in that night before buying the team and that, holy smokes, then it really gets fun. So a whole other reason to get involved in this sport. So history-wise, how did this get going? I mean, I guess it started in Norway or whatever, where it was just a means of transportation.
Basically, yeah. It has been a means for transportation in Norway with some native cultures, using dogs or caribou or whatever, just trying to get around in a little bit faster, more efficient way. In the Mountain West, it probably started with, these ski towns popping up in traditionally ranching communities. All of a sudden there's these resorts and there's skiers, mixing it up in the bars with cowboys. And there was probably a moment where wouldn't it be fun if, followed by hold my beer, and from then it just got to be like, well, I can do that better than you. And it became a thing.
And if I remember right, I think there's a story about it somewhere in Colorado that kind of happened where it in a bar, and here's a cowboy, here's a skier, and hey, bet you can't hang on to this. And it was snowy night, and they got on Main Street, and off they went. And
that's Leadville story. That's their big story there. That's how they figured it started. Nobody really knows. Leadville, Colorado is what we call the granddaddy of all skijoring races. That one's been going on, probably 50 years. More than
it has a really unique history, both from just a practical reason, but then from a racing and, all that. And of course, leave it to us good old Americans. We always find a way to turn turn something that's a normal thing into a let's get it wild and go to the extreme, which I love.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about the future of skijoring in Montana. Do you see this sport growing? Are there more events happening?
Yes, the number of events that have popped up over the whole Mountain West has grown exponentially. It has been insane. When I first started 15 years ago, there's a few events to go to. It was just probably the beginning of its big growth spurt. And then we got social media, and social media has taken this to a whole new level. People see it, they see little reels, they see people doing it. Everybody wants to be a part of it now. They want to be there. They want to do it. They want to see it. So it has grown a ton. On the one hand, it has been great for these small communities that really do need this winter visitor boost. You know, and on the other hand, it's just, you know, it's become a little bit of a juggling act for organizers. We're trying to, we're competing for sponsors. We're competing for competitors. Luckily, the competitor pool has grown exponentially as well. So you can pretty much decide where you want to race and when you want to race, and you'll find someplace. It's been great. We've gone to pre-sign-ups, used to show up on Friday night and just sign up with a team, and you were good to go for Saturday morning. Can't do that anymore. It's just too popular. So we have pre-sign-ups, and we're kind of going through growing pains with that. You know, how you go about that. Is it first come, first serve and crashing systems? And are you going to do lotteries and to get people in? But it's working itself out. I mean, it grew fast and it was a little painful at first, but I think it's getting a lot better as we figure out how to navigate more and more races and more competitors.
So if somebody said, they watch this podcast, they say, I want to get into that. I got a horse. I got a crazy person that wants me to drag them along on their skis and all that. What do you recommend they do to get into this and learn more about it?
Right. You can contact, and we get a lot of contacts. Just go online and look for races in your area. Contact organizers. Most of us, I mean, we're all real people. We understand. Email is probably the best, so we can do it, at 5 a.m. when we're sitting there doing that.
Sure.
And find out there's going to be a practice somewhere, or there's a couple of online Skijoring marketplace is a great place. It started as a place that we could all, trade gear. And now it's a full on, finding a teammate and finding out when the races are and all of that. So that's a good place to go. Facebook. But I think you should just start with your local race.
Yeah. Okay.
And we can point you in the right direction.
If people have questions for you, is it okay to put your email in there so people could contact you that way?
Yeah, you can contact through our website has a contact, the whitefishskijoring.org. And my personal, not personal, the one that I'm in charge of is the competitor side of that. And it's competitors.wfskijoring@gmail.
That's
kind of where we do. Yeah, that's where we do all of our competitor stuff. But our main info page is, monitored basically by our president, and she forwards it to whoever on the board or whoever she thinks needs.
If you have questions, you can go to the podcast description. You'll be able to click that email and go to that site, and then they'll get you either in touch with Jennifer or whomever, and you can get more questions for a community that says, boy, we'd love to have one of those events in our town. Same kind of thing. Just how would they best go about doing that?
Contact a race that you like. If you've been to a race and you think, I want to have this in my town, contact the organizer of that race. I talked about the Skijoring community helping each other out. The organizer community also helps each other out a ton. The Red Lodge team was here. The Red Lodge race organizers were here at this race, helping Bozeman, which is a new race, actually old race, now become new race again, set up timing equipment and whatnot, and lending them their timing equipment so they can see how that all works. So we help each other out a ton, and they can go for their to those communities and get that information.
So here's the different ways you can get involved. Just to wrap it up. One, go as a spectator. Just when you find out an event, when you go to the podcast description, see an event near you or wherever, go see it, because you're going to love that. You're just flat going to love that, and you'll have a lot of fun. Then 2, if you want to promote your business, this is a really cool way to do it, and sponsor a team or sponsor an event or any of that. That's awesome. Or if you got some guts, and you got a good horse and courage, you might want to be a competitor too. So
There's one more way.
okay.
There's one more way. We love our volunteers. If you want to be up close and personal to the action, one of those links is a / volunteers. Click on that and we will help you. You get a front row seat if you're a volunteer.
Oh yeah. Now that's a great idea too.
Yeah. And not-for-profits, we take really good care of y'all too. You know, we have a big volunteer tent. We feed you and make sure you're comfy.
Yeah. There you go. Well, that's fun too. So lots of ways to get involved. I hope that you do. And let's keep this sport growing and going, because this is just yet another way to make a long Montana winter a hell of a lot of fun. It really is.
Yep.
I want to thank you, Jennifer, so much for your time and telling us all about this crazy stuff. Anything else you want to say before we let you go?
No, I feel like I've been very long-winded on the subject.
No, you've been great. You've told us so many great things. Well, tell your son hi for us. We're excited. Maybe we'll get to meet him one of these times next time and learn about what mom does and all that. Do you guys ever have disagreements on hey mom, you blew it here or there when you were pulling me, or how does that?
No, well, we're a team and we understand that it's a 3 heartbeat deal. And we understand that the horse is kind of, not quite as bright. And, and you make mistakes. Like, you misjudge, I lose control of my horse sometimes and be like, sorry, I was supposed to check at that gate. And Speedy just wasn't having it. Yeah. It was like, I forgot. We don't know. And we love each other. We understand that this is not, neither one of us will starve if we don't win the money. So we don't really have disagreements on it. I mean, mostly I worry about him and he worries about me. And so that's probably where we have our greatest fault.
There you go. Mom, you're getting too crazy. Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that run out's pretty short. Well, we don't have to do it if you don't think he's going to stop. And I'm like, no, we'll give it a go.
Oh, this is great. All right, Jennifer, thank you so much. And don't be shy. We want to have you back on again one of these times here soon, because we'd love to learn more about it. And any events that you have going, be sure and let me know, because we're more than happy to get the word out too.
Yeah, cool. Well, I was going to say you should come down and check a race out personally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I definitely will. I'm planning on it.
VIP pass.
There you go. Well, what I would like to do is the one coming up.
Yeah, February 3rd, 14th, and 15th.
Yeah.
We got some hotel partners that are giving some great discounts if you're from out of town and you want to just come by and spend the night and have a good time. I'll give you another chance at Skijoring too if you come down.
Oh boy. Okay. If they say, what happened to Downrigger? He's not doing his podcast anymore. Well, he tried that Skijoring. He's in the hospital.
Yeah, way back in the day, they did a race in how was that? Oh, it was in Lincoln, and the Good Morning America Today show. It was the Today show, and the host of that one wanted to be pulled, and so I had this little buckskin Missouri Foxtrotter, basically pony, and we dragged him around for that. It was pretty funny.
All right. Well, I'm crazy enough. I'd probably try it. All right. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much. And thank you all for tuning in. And we got more podcasts coming up, a lot of different events yet to go. So stay tuned right here until we talk again. Be safe out there. Be good to each other. And we'll talk to you next time here on the Montana Outdoor Podcast.
Thanks for watching the Montana Outdoor Podcast. You know, there's no way we could do this podcast without the incredible support of sponsors like Superior Hardwoods of Montana, home of the largest selection of in-stock, high-end wood products and flooring in the western United States. Let them guide you through the woods at superior-hardwoods.com. And of course, Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer in Missoula, home of Boss snowplows and accessories, and Diamond Sea Trailers and accessories. Go see them on the web at rmtte.com. We'd love to hear what you thought of this week's podcast. When you get a minute or two, shoot us an email and tell us your thoughts. Same goes if you have any questions for Rigger or this week's guest. Just send your questions or comments to downrigger@montanooutdoor.com. Hey, don't forget we should be dropping a new podcast this next Saturday. Until then, gang, we hope to see you soon out in Montana's great outdoors.